You're listening to the Quint's podcast.
The coronavirus has changed the very world we live in a matter of weeks. People the world over are now implementing measures to fight the virus. One of these measures is shifting from working in large offices and buildings to working from home. Working from home is an important part of infection control measures called social distancing, which means strictly limiting human-to-human interaction. Now, more organizations have chosen to shift to a work-from-home setup, but this isn't easy for everyone. While some people have welcomed working from home, others say it's wreaked havoc on their emotional and mental well-being. For example, teachers now say they take more time to finish the same classes they normally taught.
Today I took my first online session, and something that takes me 20-25 minutes to cover in class, today it took me 1.5 hours to
Lawyers,
cover
media
it.
professionals, and content writers report having more anxiety because of constant calls and messages from their work managers. Many say they have to work from home for some parts of their work and turn up in office for other aspects. And then there are the real-world logistical challenges of working from home. What if you have family at home? What about children who are home from school because of isolation measures? How did these situations affect people's mental health?
The SARS virus outbreak, nearly 90 to 20% of people who were in isolation eventually went on to display symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder and also symptoms of depression.
Is working from home detrimental or beneficial for people? And how can you keep your peace of mind intact while adjusting to a new routine like this? Let's find out. I'm Vishnu Gopinath, and this is a Quint Fit special podcast on how working from home while trying to limit the spread of the coronavirus can take a toll on mental health and emotional well-being, and how you can take care of your mental health during this time. Today I'm joined by clinical psychologist Srividya Rajaram and Paromita Goswami, professor of the Department of Marketing Management and Social Innovation at the School of Management and Entrepreneurship at Shiv Nadar University. How does working from home take a toll on your mental health? I asked Srividya.
Working from home combined with self-isolation and also with the fear of the virus is a completely different ball game. So, in this situation where a lot of people are working from home and have absolutely no contact with their work colleagues or their bosses except for seeing them on online platforms, and are largely isolated from any social contact, mental health will end up taking a toll. If we look at research which was done from the SARS virus outbreak, nearly 90 to 20% of people who were in isolation eventually went on to display symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder and also symptoms of depression. Because by nature, human beings are not really used to the kind of social isolation that is expected of quarantine. Most of us find our sense of selves also in relation to other people, but when your life is limited to being in relation with yourself, and by being in contact with people over a virtual medium, it does affect the way you think about yourself and think about your relationships, and it does of course bring about a deep sense of loneliness.
This was what Paromita had to say.
It seems that when people are working in an office space, it's kind of, you have other people to talk to, and all of us need human bonding at some level or the other. So when one is not habituated to that, it can be tough. At least initially it can be tough. The other thing that I strongly feel is people might not even have a setting at home wherein they can work for long hours. So you might not have an office space. So if you're not habituated to doing that kind of work, it can also be physically exhausting in some sense if you don't have the right chair, right table, right kind of situation. And I think even when kids are around and your entire family is there, it can be pretty challenging to work.
Apart from this, remember, different people have to cope with different challenges while working from home.
We are not habituated to working like this, right? So it can get frustrating. And even in my class today, I could sense that the students are feeling like really bored, so to say. In the class there is a different kind of an energy level, while you are at home and you don't meet people anymore. And if there are, I know especially in the IT workforce, there might be people living in PGs where if there are more people around, how do you get about and really get to do your work when you don't have a setting? So it can affect our mental health. It can get a little problematic at first, but there's nothing to be worried about it and kind of beat yourself up or feel frustrated about it. The key now is to really breathe deep and maybe take 1 minute every hour and just breathe in and see how you're feeling at that moment, and not beat yourself up about it. Just acknowledge, okay, I'm feeling frustrated right now, or I'm feeling happy right now, or I'm feeling irritated, I feel drowsy, I feel bored, whatever. And then once we acknowledge it, it usually gets better. But if we are resisting it and we don't even want to acknowledge it, things can kind of get bad.
How do we handle work managers and expectations?
So vis-a-vis bosses breathing down one's neck, I am aware of people who have early morning calls and early evening calls with their managers or with their bosses as a way of checking in as to whether work is really happening. So one does need to be patient about something like this, because there's also a lot of pressure on the manager or on the boss to get the job done. However, if one feels that one is being pressurized by this constant hovering around, it's probably important to have a conversation with your boss about the whole thing. And what I find is that if your work ethic remains the same like it was before, you work with the same amount of seriousness and sincerity and deliver your goods, then you just have more time and space available in your personal life to do those things which you haven't otherwise really been able to do in a while.
What are the things we need to do to take care of ourselves while we work from home?
So first things first, it's important to continue to maintain a sense of routine, the same kind of routine that you had before all of this started, when you actually went to work, which means that you try and get up at the same time. You don't hang around in bed all day long. It's good to get out of your PJs. It's good to have a bath. It may even be useful to actually maybe wear your work clothes. In fact, I was reading up and beauty experts even advise that it would be, it might be actually fun for you to do a little bit of makeup or actually just take care of yourself in these times. So the idea is to maintain a sense of familiarity and continuity. Also, it's good to not make your bed your workplace. So have a designated workplace, like a table and a chair. Prepare that place and make it like a workstation, and work out of there. So a couple of companies around the world are encouraging these coffee break conversations where you have a virtual coffee break and you catch up with your colleagues, you catch up with your bosses around coffee breaks, virtual coffee breaks, of course. And also there are these moves which are being done where there are non-work breaks, virtual breaks, where you just discuss general stuff with people across an audio or a video call. So it's also important to take care of your health and stick to your diet, stick to your regime of food habit. This is also a great time to spend some time with yourself, which is something that most people don't really do.
This can be really a opportunity to connect with people in a whole different way. It's almost like, pardon my saying, so it can be a second honeymoon phase. Sometimes when we are working in an office for a really long time, we don't know people from all other departments, right? And we are in our narrow whatever bubble and we talk to only these people. So if we facilitate groups of people who can talk to each other and support each other in these times, it can really be good when things are back to normal and we go back to offices. So this is really an opportunity to reconnect back to ourselves, back to Mother Earth, if we are taking a walk around, or renewed self-care practices.
So remember, no two people are the same, and no two people will react to working from home the same way. While some welcome the opportunities it provides, for others it can take a toll over time. Keep your mental health intact by implementing these small practices and doing the little things, because they can make all the difference. This has been a podcast for Quint.